just because something's old doesn't mean it can't do any good anymore, right? I mean, hey, look at me. This is my Stratasys 250 MC. This thing I just fired up for the first time in 10 years. Plugged it in, and it's been sitting in my garage for a few years now, and then it was in storage before that. It's starting. It actually just locked the door. Oh, let's see, it's initializing. Let's see if I can see the build plate down there. And then you can see the gantry. So I got some reflections in here. Let's see if we can get that. It's kind of hard to see. It is moving. My fire truck's in the background. Okay, here it goes. Comes right up to you. And there it is. Not the fastest thing, but that's the startup. It's moving back to the home position now. And so, as this thing gets started up, I thought it would be really cool to kind of take you on a tour of what did that say? 2011, so basically 15-year-old technology can still do. It's like this thing was never even off. I mean, literally, I turned it on, and then it went off. So I think the door's unlocked now. Let's see. Oh yeah, it is. So let's look in there. So here you can see we have a dual filament head here, extruder head. There's the gantry assembly. You can see the big steel rods and the tension belts. I mean, this thing is ridiculously engineered. Fans are obviously going. See up there, everything is going up into the gantry, coming down in. Little nozzle brush right there, right? 2 LED strips that are still functional. I don't understand why current day manufacturers can't just get these silly LED strips right when they had it done 15 years ago. Take a look. This is the poop chute, and actually I can pull this out and you can see the poop goes in there. It's inside the chamber, which actually in the grand scheme of things is not too bad, but if you're in mid-print and that thing is overflowing, that's not great. So sometimes you can pause the print and, you know, get at it if you need to. But that is the inside. Now here is the build plate. Now this is kind of funny. See these little knobs here? If I take these off, this build plate comes off like that. This guy is a single use build plate. Single use. You have to buy these by the case, and they were not cheap back then. And did I break it? I might have broken it. I just didn't. There we go. So that's your build plate. So this was 10 by 10 by 12 inch volume here. So pretty substantial. Now, this thing only prints ABS, and that material is fed from 2 chambers down here. You can see this one's labeled M and this one's labeled S. M is model material, and back in the day, well, I mean, we still have it, but this was the support material. And what this allowed you to do was to print the support material inside of the model material, because what you did after the model was done, after your part was done, it would actually you dunk it in a tank of lime and water solution, and it would agitate it, sometimes hours, sometimes overnight, and it would dissolve the support material, which was super cool but at the same time, it just added to the print process. And let me tell you, this thing was not fast by any stretch of the imagination. But it still works, and that's what it kind of got me excited when I saw it for the first time. I was like, oh my god, this thing is, you know, it's like new. It still has that new car smell, and yeah. So this is what 15-year-old technology looked like, guys. So if those of you who are new to 3D printing, you can see that Core XY was around a long time ago, and it's pretty substantial. So this printer itself, if you look, I'm going to zoom out here. You have to ignore the mess. I'm in my garage. But you can see this thing is pretty big. Now, it's actually two separate pieces. You've got the lower piece here, which is, it's a storage cart on casters, which is great, so you can move it around. I love my casters. And then this part here is the actual printer. Now, the printer itself is obviously top heavy because all the mechanics are inside here. So moving this downstairs and stuff like that, not fun. Not fun, because this upper part is about 350 pounds, and down below is almost nothing, comparatively speaking. So became very top heavy, and they do separate pretty easily if the lower part encounters any kind of resistance, like down here. The top part will keep going, and then this thing can fall over, which fortunately for me, it never did. So that's the front. Now I wanted to show you, go back down in the support area here. Okay, so this is, you can see here's, this is the best part. Here's my software. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the user guide on a frickin' CD. And then I believe this was, yeah, the controller software. Came on CDs, no digital downloads. Well, I guess they did. We had digital downloads. Here's the case of more build plates. And this is this white material here is this is the support material. And this whole part here, this was what remained when I ejected it from the support material here all the way up to the gantry assembly. This is how much filament is inside the tube at any given time. So you can imagine the waste that happened when you had to change materials, because you couldn't, the material itself actually came in these big cartridges. See these two here? So this one is my model material, right? And this one is my soluble support material. 920 cc's, roughly 1 kilogram each. Anyone want to take a guess at how much that cost? Yeah, it's $250 a roll. A roll. So you can imagine like what it costs to do, you know, a single print. And as much filament as we go through these days, it's incomprehensible how much it would cost to run this machine with this current technology. Speaking of technology, let's go around to the other side of the printer, because this part, you're going to love this. Here is the controller. So here's your fan. This is just for cooling just the electronics. This has nothing to do with the chamber at all. But you can see you've got a board here, Ethernet cable. Looks like a DB9 serial cable. Got another DB9 here. Capacitors that I won't dare touch because they'll probably kill me. So more power distribution over here. And here's your controller board. So you got model, support, head blower, filament motors, all these little controllers, head unit, X motor, Y motor, Z motor. I mean, this is a pre-duet board, right? You know, it's insane. And then you've got another controller board over here. This is probably the main processor board. This is the motor control board. This is probably the main processor board. There is a hard drive in here. And let's see, it says Seagate It's a 500 gigabyte drive. 500 gigabytes. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's not huge, but still, I mean, 500 gigs. And this is the best part. The factory calibration software comes in a CD that's embedded inside this back case. So if you, I mean, you got to hand it to them. What they had to work with, the technology back then, you know, they shoved it into here, but can you imagine yanking all of this out and starting with like a Raspberry Pi and a Duet board with the motor controllers and everything? I mean, it looks to me like I'll need 1, 2, 3 motor controllers at least. And here's all there's a little light. These are basically just telling me what's on and off. But like, how many motors do I have to control with this dang thing? So I need to figure that out. But you've got heaters. Obviously, the heaters require a lot of power. As a matter of fact, this thing required a 20 amp dedicated circuit to run. And the primary reason is that these heaters inside here, there's a heater on either side of the printer blowing into the chamber, and that's how it keeps the build plate warm and the rest of the chamber warm. Kind of like what a lot of the modern day printers do too. So they took cues from this design for sure. So let's go back over here. I'll show you here's the blower. Here's one of them. Let's get warm in here. There's a blower here, and you got another one over here, and there is warm air coming through here for sure. So that is that is the printer in its current form. Now, I still wonder, you know, can I do something with this guy? I think I've made the decision not to revise renew this. Obviously, none of the parts are really serviceable anymore, and what is serviceable is probably super expensive. So I don't think I'm gonna bother with that. But if you think about it, if I took all of this stuff out here, all of this out, and replaced it with new electronics, faster processors, could I theoretically, you know, bring this thing back to life as a modern day printer? I think I could. I mean, stepper motors aside, and, you know, probably need to tension the belts a little bit because they've been sitting for so long. But aside from that, probably some calibration, some things, because I don't believe there's any printer profiles for something this old. But I mean, why not, right? I mean, this could be a fun project, but I need to get printing right away, and this ain't gonna cut it for me. Matter of fact, if I were to start a print job on here, and you guys complain about the P1P and the P1S screen, yeah, this is what I had to work with. This is my readout. I've got a couple other displays here. You know, I can go here. I can go to material, and then it's going to say, oh, nope, there's no material. It says add, remove, right? And then I can click done. Very, very basic stuff. So obviously this would need to be replaced by some touch display or something like that as well. But with the right motors and the right electronics, this might work. I don't know. What do you think? You think it's worth reviving this old behemoth and tank of a machine? I mean, not for right now. I mean, in the first episode, I obviously clearly talked about this being a potential option for me. But the more I think about it, the amount of money that I would need to spend, I've done a lot of research on the parts and stuff like that, and the amount of time that it would take to bring this up to modern standards, I don't think it makes a whole lot of financial or time sense at the moment. But once the business launches, this could be a fun weekend project for a few weeks or months, depending upon things. But I mean, and then, you know, you don't need to use the full complement of electronics in here. So for instance, if I only needed to use one heater, or if I only needed to use, Yeah, or I could turn down the heaters even, or if there's a way to control those heaters. The heaters are on either side. So there's one over here, and then there's one over here. And they do go, they're actually inside the chamber right here. Right here, and then right here. So, but yeah, this chamber is getting warm for sure. I think yesterday when I turned it on for the first time, I want to say that it got up to about 100 degrees inside here, and it's like, here in Seattle right now, it's probably 50. This is what, April 23rd, 2025. And so it's still kind of cold here, Seattle, even with the sunshine out. But yeah, clearly not financially viable, you know, unless you had high paying customers. The filament alone would kill any margins that you'd have. And plus the electricity to run this thing. You know, you guys talk about cool build plates and stuff like that. You know, saving energy. This was not very energy conscious at the time. So I would obviously need to modify that a little bit, but still. Anyway, I just want to give you this little tour. I'm going to turn it off and put it back in its little home here in the garage, and dream about one day potentially using this thing again in some capacity or another. And you see that reflection right there? Yeah, this is my daily driver. I'll talk about that in a future episode, but that's kind of fun. Anyway, until next time, big reveal on which printer I'm actually going to select. So I think I've kind of led on to the fact and said that I'm going to go with a new printer, but which one? And believe me, I've been spending a lot of time, a lot of late nights researching this stuff. So hopefully I'll figure it out real soon. But more comments, suggestions, and what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. All right, take care. See you.